And I am a do-it-yourselfer. I'm building a sauna, and I'm at the point where I'm putting in my stovepipe. And one of the problems I ran into was that I am this far away from connecting where I need to. So what I've done is I've taken a pencil and I've made dots and checkpoints. I've made my measurements here on the distance, and I've connected those dots. And then what I actually did was I used a piece of tape for me to see the line, because some people are going to use a tin snip to cut it. And what I'm actually going to use is this tool here, a cutting tool that's hooked up to my air compressor. And it has a high volume of consumption as far as CFM goes, which is cubic feet per minute. And that's a lot more than my compressor can handle, and probably the one that you get at a big box store. Most compressors that you find will probably have a maximum output of 3 to 5 CFM, which is not to be confused with PSI, pounds per square inch. Every compressor you find at the big box store more than likely is going to have a maximum output of 135 to maybe 150 PSI. So anyways, what I've done, like I said, I've made my outline so I can see it with the cutting tool. And I think it's going to give me a nice straight edge here. I tried it on a piece of scrap, which I wrecked with my saw, my chop saw, and it didn't quite work out right, so I figured this would be a little more precise. And so here we go. I'll show you kind of where things are at. The key is to have a nice cut like this, like I've shown here. So it'll be a nice straight edge, and then at the end, when you're done, you can just take a little file and kind of scrape off the inside edge, and then kind of do the same on the outside, and then maybe just, again, go over the top a little bit as well, just to get those burrs off. And then this piece is actually going to be inserted into the stove, and hopefully I can cover up the rough edges with the rocks on the sauna stove. So I'll give you an example here right now. It's a little bit loud, so make sure you have your ear protection, eye protection for sure, if you don't have any. I'm going to switch glasses. And as well, if you're going to be working with metal, it's definitely not a bad idea to wear some gloves. These are abrasive resistant ones anyways. Any sort of work gloves you have would be helpful when working with metal. So this tool cuts a little differently, and hopefully my camera angle is all right. So I've got my line, and I've got this pipe unassembled right now. I think this might be easiest when it comes to the seam. So we'll see how this shakes out. It was a little difficult with the practice pieces that I had. So as you can see, compressor kicked on pretty early, but you have a cut, and a little bit of a scrape there. I don't think it's that big of a deal myself, but who knows? Might save you a little bit more time rather than using a tin snip. And we'll see how it turns out. I'll send some photos later, and good luck to you. Thanks.